retaining wall.
Is she coming?
I don't know. But we have a quorum, so, and the time is upon us, so I will assume the chair. And we will begin the meeting, starting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call. Leanne Waldvogel.
Present.
Jamie is not here yet. Wayne Grusling.
Here.
Greg Hilbert.
Yep.
Frank Meyer.
Here.
We have a quorum. We have before you the minutes of the May 9th, 2015 meeting. I'll entertain, if you assume you read them, a motion for approval or denial.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the April 20 meeting.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Amendments, corrections? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are adopted. The only item of, wait a minute, there's other minutes. Yes, we have a minutes of April 20th.
Yes,
2015.
there's another set of minutes.
Pardon me?
There's another
I
set
should
of
have done those
minutes.
first, but that's okay.
We did.
Because those weren't available at your last meeting.
No, not Saturday. No. I don't think she had them on Saturday, did she?
Don't think so.
Okay? Same program.
So we approved
You approved the May. so we'll need
April,
it.
actually. That's what was,
You made a motion on the May minutes, or did you make a motion on the April minutes? I wrote down May,
The May 9th
April.
on Saturday.
the short ones.
I made a motion on the April 20th. Now we need a motion on the May 9th.
Okay.
so make a motion that we accept the May 9th minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, the only item of new business is an appeal of an administrative decision denying the certificate of appropriateness for project to a non-contributing property on the National Historic District at 645 North 4th Street. And the applicants are Robin and Dwayne Rodler, and they propose to construct a 12 by 21 steel fabricated carport next to the house in the side yard. This was reviewed by the staff and found to be inconsistent with the guidelines. And so the administrator denied the request, and they're appealing that decision, and they are here. So would you like to kind of step forward and identify yourself and provide whatever testimony you think is pertinent to the issue?
I'm Dwayne Robin, this is my wife Robin. We recently bought that house back in about January, February of this year. And the house is ours. It's not owned by the bank or anybody else. It's our house. There is a foundation in the back where there had been at one time a garage, which is extremely small. I don't know how he ever got out of his car in the first place. It's extremely small in width. So, and not because we don't want to stick a whole lot of money in building a structure that we're not going to really be able to use. So we kicked around the idea of a carport, and we shopped around. We talked to Rodney Malfelt and asked several questions about the structure and how secure it is, if it's a removable structure, so on and so forth. And he assured me that the structure is sound. We decided on what size we wanted. The trim work on it is a slate blue to match the house. It has a white roof on it, which matches the rest of the trim in the house. They recommend, well, he recommended that we use 3-foot, half-inch rebar for anchors, six total, that they would anchor. The company that makes the building is going to install it, so we're not messing with the installation at all. They recommend, if you want to go into a permanent structure, to go with the $25 a piece mobile home anchors, which I think is excessive. We don't need to do that. The house is protected, I mean, the carport is protected next to our house, which would be within like maybe 2 or 3 foot from the building itself. Visually, it's blocked from the house next door to us, the brick home next to us, and our own home. So it's not standing out in the front yard, it's going to be to the back of the house, from the corner of the house, back corner of the house, 21 foot forward. So there's quite a bit of driveway left there that's, it's tucked back in the back between the houses, so it's not like right out in the front yard. It's not going to be that busy.
Well, this is your,
Yes, ma'am. that's-
which one of these is it going to be?
Well, actually, if you're looking at this one right here in the center,
This?
yes, ma'am, yes, it would be that style. It'd be 12 foot wide, 21 foot long.
All metal?
Yes, ma'am, steel.
How far back from the front of your house
That
does
should
it
be on.
actually
I thought
start?
we put all the
Well, there's
measurements
two
down.
illustrations.
Okay, the
in
last
paper
one is
we
the,
got.
5 feet. That's-
no, that's the old drawing. You guys don't have, I sent her a new one, and it was on the back. Here it is.
So how far back from the front corner of the house to the start of the carport?
From the shell of the garage to where the carport was?
No, from
No,
the
from the front of
house.
the
Oh, from the front of the
The
house.
street corner of the house on front
Okay,
to where the carport
got an
begins.
the
overall.
driveway is 65 feet long,
Uh-huh.
and the carport is only 21 foot long. So, whatever that leaves.
You're coming back that far.
Well,
And-
it won't, the front of the carport extend beyond the front of your house?
No,
No,
it's-
no, no, it'll be way,
Well, the back of the carport will start at the back corner of our house.
And come 21
feet up.
right,
Feet
right,
forward.
right.
But I don't know how wide, deep your house is, so.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, it's a 65-foot driveway.
60, yes.
But I think the Commissioner's question had to do with
The location.
proximity
of-
to the
Right.
front of the
Yeah.
house.
Right, no,
Right.
we weren't going to the front of the house. We were
Well,
Going
rear
to
of
the back.
house.
I'm just saying that in the guidelines, it says that it shouldn't be within 10 feet of the front of the house.
No, I think we have plenty of
Oh,
room
yeah,
there,
we're-
21 foot minus 65 foot.
We're well farther back from the front of the house. I was looking at 44 feet. And I mean, we did some cruising around the neighborhood, and we came up with, just in a 3-mile radius of our,
No,
or three
blocks.
block radius of our house, there's 14 carports. And we can extend that out further, and we came up with a total of 17, and that was just on about a 20-minute drive.
Do you know
So,
when those were built?
We got all, we don't know
No,
when they
when
were
they're
built, but I
built.
got addresses for every one of them. And, some of them are extremely visible, some of them, I mean, we've seen them all from the road, so we didn't get out of our vehicle. We have absolutely no complaints from the neighbors whatsoever. They're all in agreement with it. They have no problem with us putting one up. And we've got, and it will be a removable structure, so, I mean, if we decide we want to take it out, we can. It's no major deal. Our neighbors, the Zerwigs, they have a pergola, which is a removable structure. And that was approved to be built.
Or put in.
I'll put in whatever, but I mean, it's there. But I mean, it's just, we're trying to protect a vehicle, and they're not shabby looking structures. I mean, they're well built, and then they're guaranteed. It's
They
got
have a
it's got a
20-year
20-year
warranty.
warranty on them, so, I mean, it's not, a piece of junk. But we've had 2 large maple trees trimmed to prevent limb damage and everything. And those were the worst looking trees back there. And of course, we had this one large pecan tree back there. And probably, 2 weeks after we had everything trimmed up, cleaned up, I had a limb fall out of the pecan tree and just mashed the hell out of my barbecue grill. And I don't want that happening in the car. And what it's gonna cost us to put that in, it's a lot cheaper than having to pay for the damages on a vehicle. So, and not only not protecting from the weather, but I mean, even wind damage was brought up about how much it can withstand. I don't know what the specifications are as far as the maximum wind damage. I think somebody had brought up, it had to withstand 70-mile-an-hour winds. We aren't gonna get no 70-mile-an-hour winds in between those houses. We sit down in the valley in the first place, and we're right in between. Well, the Zerwigs have a garage right next to our foundation garage, plus their home's right there, and we got good wind blockage there. I'm not concerned about the wind, and it is going to be anchored. So it's not. I don't think that's
Yeah,
going
but
to
Rodney
affect.
Millfeld talked to the company, and they said that was covered anyway. And as far as the snow load, as far as they said if it was over 22 foot, then you would have to put in extra trusses. But anything under 22 feet,
I don't think we have to worry too much about the
No.
structural integrity. We have to
Yeah.
go with overall appearance
Right.
and building materials.
Right, and it's like I said, it's a steel. It's not rusted. It's not used. It's brand new. It's going to be
No, but
installed by the
The
company.
problem is that it is in a historic district.
Well, what about the other 14 that are in the district?
There may have been mistakes made in the past. We don't look at the mistakes, we look at the guidelines that the Board of Aldermen has developed and accepted, and that is our guidance. And the zoning administrator looked at those guidelines and came up with reasons for denying the certificate of appropriateness. And in looking at those reasons, they seem to be in compliance with the ordinance and the guidelines. And that's a problem. I mean, you have a beautifully maintained small house there. I'll say that for it. I mean, the thing is
It's been
superb.
through hell.
But,
But it's been completely redone. It's a
Yeah.
very, very nice home.
I understand that, but it shows care. But from a historic aspect, putting a steel carport next to it is just going to be the wrong thing to do.
but it's gonna be hidden in the back
It
where,
isn't hidden. Look at the photographs.
well,
There's
I mean,
nothing
if
to
you're
hide
sitting
it.
in front of the house maybe, but, I mean, like in this letter that she gave me, it says, new construction should, use building forms similar to found traditionally. And, I don't know, more or less, I could spend about 8,000 and build a garage to match my house. But this is 800 that's gonna do the same thing, and I can't afford 8,000.
So basically, what you're all trying to say is that it's due to the appearance of the structure, that it doesn't match the neighborhood?
The
Basically.
materials that the steel structure is not coherent with the rest of the neighborhood.
What steel roofs are?
We have these guidelines that we have to interpret.
I'm just
and
trying to get it clear.
Try to
Yeah.
carry forward. And There's just been a lot of mistakes in the past, I think. And when they were made, I don't know.
Well, this one's pretty recent. Metal roof approved on Market Street home. That's pretty new.
And Roberts.
I mean, I don't know. If we're kicking a dead horse, I guess we'll just say, we'll just appeal it, and we want to meet with the alderman. I mean, that's all I can say is, if we're not going to get anywhere from
That
it.
style be any improvement. It would look,
Well, there are better looking options even in that, but I don't think any of them would meet the requirements of the guidelines.
it would still be a steel building.
Yeah. If it were hidden totally behind the house, it'd be maybe.
No, we haven't bought it yet.
Well, we did, we had to.
We put money down on it, we took it back, and then we put money back down on it again, because we thought we was gonna get through with it. And then we got that letter of denial, and got our money back again. So, I guess we just wanna take it up with the board, or alderman, if we could do that, please.
Well, they have to vote first.
Okay, that's fine.
What is our action required here? Is we either make a motion to accept
Approval or
the
denial.
decision of the administrator or,
Or to overrule it.
yeah. I see nothing wrong with the reasoning that she has presented in the review of the project. I understand your comments. I don't have much money either. And, but we do have to go by the guidelines. The zoning administrator has done that. She has gone by the guidelines. And the reason she has given for not approving the project, not getting a certificate of appropriateness, seem to be valid and in line with our guidelines.
Well, my question is, would it look better to have a carport or for me to put a tarp on my car every night? I mean, it looks terrible. I spent all my money buying the house, and now I'd like to have something to protect my car.
I'll make a motion that we abide by the decision of the zoning administrator.
I will have to second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion other than what's occurred? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now,
Now,
we'll put this as an action item, assuming, I mean, I'm not going to make you fill out any more forms.
okay.
For consideration by the Board of Aldermen at their next meeting, which will be the 28th.
Do we need to
May
attend
20
that?
Oh,
or-
yeah, you need to be there.
Okay,
Now, is that at 7 too?
Yeah, it's here at
Here.
7.
okay. Well, I thank you all for your
Okay.
time.
Thanks.
For reasons that I can't explain, Petrie has provided you with a copy of the proposed planning and zoning amendment
To the VROB?
for the,
Yeah, I saw that.
so I guess it's just for your information to see what the people
Yeah.
are talking about.
It's a very good concept. I mean, it's something that I think we've needed to get some usable, some use from small buildings which are no longer acceptable for people as starter houses. So it's a good idea. In looking at the thing, I would think you're gonna have a few problems administering it, but it's not our purview, it's the,
In the, really, the main impetus of this is it was already arguably allowed within the C2 and C4 zone districts, but not in the residential zone district. So if you wanted to, like Wayne's got a house on Main Street that he's going to I think, use for that purpose, and it fits within the commercial zone. But we lacked any language that would allow the same thing to occur in the residential zone district. And so this basically changes the B&B to guest house, just changes the definition, but doesn't change anything about what's here.
Bed,
And
no
then-
breakfast.
But you had authority for accommodations in the business district.
Yes, but not in residential rooms. So if you want to take your house in an R1 zone district,
This is not a residence, I mean, it's a rental facility, the same as a bed and breakfast is a rental facility. The
Guest
same as a
lodging.
hotel is a rental facility.
but it's not for long-term occupancy.
Neither is a hotel
No, I
or
agree.
a-
So the question is, should that
B&B.
occur in an R1 zone?
I mean,
But that's not for you to decide.
it's not for us to decide, that's right.
But that's the
It's a
issue.
popular thing in a lot of
Yeah.
tourist
I,
cities.
I think it's a great idea. I just think maybe a little bit more care needs to be taken in reviewing them. I
Well,
don't.
I think
with
she
B&Bs,
and I know I would appreciate comments
Yeah,
about
and I
specific
think
language.
the comments would be better made if I make them to
Oh,
you
yeah,
in
no, we don't
your
need to do it
office
here.
rather than
Right. Yeah, please
taking
do
up
that.
the time of the meeting.
Please do that. There was an administrative approval for a roof replacement using the same materials that were there at 417 Jefferson. And so we're obligated by the ordinance to inform you whenever something like that happens. There's a flyer in there for the Missouri Preservation Conference at Cape Girardeau. They're due by June the 1st. Generally, we can get a grant covering tuition. So if anybody is interested in attending, let us know, and we'll submit your name for a grant from the Department of Historic Preservation on the tuition or admittance fee to the conference. And then Petrie's been working with Downtown Renewal Organization project, and she has on here Place Matters campaign. And I'm going to say something about it, but I shouldn't because I don't go to the meetings and I only know what I know
I saw
secondhand.
something
Right.
in the paper or something about.
Well, they've got
that. It wasn't real clear.
this Place Matters kind of thing, and what they're going to do is they're going to identify structures that are in need of care and take their picture in front of them with the This Place Matters thing and try and increase community awareness of what needs to be done, and then try and, in the sense, if they're currently vacant, try and find folks who take them over and make a project out of it. But don't ask me any questions. That's all I know.
There's a couple of them that I thought we had people working on them. Ziegler. And,
Actually, Marty Adam is back working on that.
That's what I thought, he's back working, it looks like there's something being done. And 145 Washington, the old schoolhouse down there. That had a new roof put on it and some
Yeah.
expenditures made.
And then they decided not to do whatever they were going
Yeah.
to do with it and put it back on the market. But at least they stabilized, they protected it from the weather. Petrie was saying she thought she had someone who was going to make an offer on it, but that fell through, so right now it's just on the market.
And 122nd, is that nice Italianate brick structure, two-story brick structure?
The red brick structure
Yeah.
close to Washington? Yeah. It's the second one in?
Yeah, second one in from Washington.
Right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful structure, and I was in that thing in '73
Yeah.
when it was flooded.
Wondered why
and
someone
man,
hasn't
there's a
ever
beautiful
taken that up
staircase
and-
in it.
Well, someone did, and then they started working on it, and
Yeah.
they got a divorce, and there was a
Yeah.
dispute over who would get it, and one
And there it
person got it.
sits. Yes.
And they then sold it to someone who has not done
Yeah,
anything with it.
I thought it was sold to somebody down south who was interested. That, I wish that one could be done, because that'd be a beautiful home.
That's a gorgeous place. Needs a lot of help.
Okay, is there any other business to be brought before the board? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.